guys, going straight back into the video. Today's video is what if Sky and Bridgette swap seasons. So let's begin. So Sky gets put onto the killer bass, right? She's a competitive person, and I think she gets put into the killer bass. Now episode 2 doesn't change, as Sky would jump, and Izzy and Katie and Katie swaps teams. I feel like Sky would get along with Tyler pretty well, and I feel like she'd be friends with Eva, so I feel like Ezekiel would still stay as comment, which gets his team eliminated. Episode 3 doesn't change either, but I think Sky would call out Heather for stealing Evo's MP3 player, which I think Eva would respect Sky as well. Would respect Sky. And I think Duncan would also respect her. And I think the Killer Bass wouldn't vote Eva, because she would never lose MP3 players. She would be on a rampage. And as Katie and Sadie, Harold, because they did the worst in this challenge. So I feel like Duncan, this is where he tries to get out Harold. So I think they're gonna vote for Katie for the same reasons. So Sky realizes that Harold would have mad skills. So she would think he's more a useful teammate. So I feel like here, in this universe, I'm going to say they go for Katie because they got rid of her in the original before Sadie. Sadie is devastated that Katie is eliminated. In episode 4, Noah refuses / doesn't compete. I think with Harold, Tyler, and Eva, the Killer Bass will do even better. And I think Noah still goes. Episode 5 is the talent show. So it's Courtney, Jeff, and DJ now because Bridget's not here. I think it's Trent, Justin, Heather. I think Harold still beatboxes and wins. However, without Bridget here to throw up on everyone, Harold wouldn't sacrifice himself, wouldn't go in. Now Jeff still breaks his skateboard, so this gives a good enough reason for me to believe that Harold would now volunteer himself. So I think the Killer Bass will win. And Heather gangs upon Justin. Episode 6, I think now that Katie and Sadie don't get lost, there's no reason for the Killer Bass to lose the challenge. And Sky would be friends with Tyler and Eva at this point. That's her friendship group, with Duncan having his group. And Sadie, Harold, and Courtney are just kind of on the outs. And I think the Killer Bass lose. And Heather would get everyone involved for Owen because he told them the bear story and he definitely scared the team. Episode 7 is the phobia factor. Trent would pass, Heather passes, Beth passes, Cody fails, Lindsay passes, Gwen passes, Shauna fails, Harold fails, Courtney fails the jelly, Sadie passes, Duncan passes, DJ passes, Jeff fails, Tyler, the chickens fails, Eva's worms, he would pass, and Sky's fear. I don't know what Sky's fear would be because Sky wasn't here, but I'm gonna say, maybe Jeff likes her. I think Jeff likes her, and Sky admitting that she is with someone, I think Sky could do that, so she passes. That's 5 points to their 6 points, which makes me think the Killer Bass will lose. Now, I think Sky wouldn't want to get rid of Tyler, so I feel like she would keep him around. And Duncan, Duncan would respect Sky as well. So I feel like these guys want to get rid of Tyler, but I think these three vote for Courtney. Now, I think Sadie and Harold are convinced to vote for Courtney because Sky doesn't have the same connection, and she points out to the others that Courtney cost them the challenge, so we might as well vote for Courtney here. Episode 8 is where we have where they have to go in the pairs. So it's DJ and Jeff, Duncan and Tyler, Sky and Eva, which leaves Harold and Sadie, Heather, Cody, Gwen, Heather, Lindsay, Beth, Heather, Shauna, Lindsay, Trent, Izzy, Shauna, Beth, Trent, Beth, Lindsay, Beth, and Heather and Beth. And I think Harold still accidentally burns the oars. Izzy using the idea, Eva pushes back the killer bass, and Izzy still gets chased down by the CRMP. Episode 9. Big Boy Deer Hunter, Cody still gets mauled by a bear, so he gets removed from the game. Not a lot to be said there. Episode 10 is the cooking challenge. I think Sky will take charge. Jeff, Sky's an Olympian. I think they're still messing with Harold, which Sky isn't going to be happy with Duncan's bullying to Harold. And I think Heather's still locked in the freezer. Beth still has the tiki statue. The Killbass win the challenge. Actually, the Killbass wouldn't win the challenge because Owen are not there to eat the ribs. So what does this mean? Well, I think the Gophers actually win because without Owen being there, there's no reason for the ribs to be eaten. And I remember Chris saying that the ribs were really nice and he wished he had more. So I think they win the challenge. And I think Sky works with Harold and Sadie to vote out Duncan. Because Duncan, Duncan's been mean to Harold. I think Harold's going to want to get out Duncan here. So I think they vote for Duncan. I think even though I'm more than scared of Sadie, I think Sky kind of realizes, this rivalry's gone on a bit too far. It's gone on long enough. We need to get out Duncan. Episode 11 is Who You Can Trust. And here's the points. Gwen and Heather. I think Jeff, Sky and Harold. Sky and DJ, and I think DJ, Jeff and Eva. Lindsay, Trent, Jeff and Eva. Harold, Tyler, LaShawn, Beth. Harold, Tyler, and LaShawn, Beth. Then Lindsay, Heather, Sadie, Sky, I think Heather, Cynthia from Marie, and Trent, Gwen, Shauna, DJ, Jeff. Now without Bridgette here, there's no reason for Jeff to lose DJ's bunny, so it doesn't eat my snake, and then take my snake, take my eagle, and then eat my shark. So I think the killer bass actually win the challenge, and I think the Gophers got elimination. So I think this is where Heather does her little play on Beth and says that they're cursed, so everyone has to vote her off. Episode 12, Basics Training. And I think Eva and Tyler get to the end. So I think for Eva and Tyler, I do give the point to Tyler because he has more endurance and can handle pain the best. So I do think Tyler would win the challenge. And I think everyone votes for Heather because she's the biggest threat that has immunity. And she can convince Lindsay, but beyond that, the other three are definitely voting for Heather. Episode 13 is Extreme Torture. I think here we have Lashana. First of all, Trent, DJ, Trent, Jeff, Lashana, Lindsay, and then Harold. Now, without Heather being there, there's no reason for Harold to crash into a rock. So the Killbass win, and the Gophers vote Lindsay because they're closer to Lashana. Episode 14 is Guys versus Girls. And without Owen here, the guys are losing. Luckily, it's just a reward challenge. Alright. So, Izzy. So, I'm bringing back Izzy, and I'm also bringing back Heather. I know Duncan is a very valuable option, but in this universe, Heather returns. Episode 15, LaShawn still wins the challenge. I think everyone ganks up on Eva for being too big of a threat going forward. Episode 16 is where usually Heather kisses Trent. I think this still works, and I think everyone's forced to vote him off. Episode 17, I think Tyra replaces Duncan and makes the Guys Alliance and Jeff. So they make the Guys Alliance. I think they apologize to Harold. I think Harold's kind of cool with them at this point. I think the Hide Me Sneaky challenge. I think Shauna still wins. And Heather calls Harold and DJ on the roof. And I think, even though actually there's no Guys Alliance because Duncan's not here, right? So Duncan's not around. This guy has Tyler. She has Harold. That's kind of it. So I feel like here Heather and Shauna are immune. But there's nobody who's like a Bridgette, and that was originally Duncan's plan. So I feel like that they go for Izzy because she's the most unpredictable in challenges, and they might not get another chance. Episode 18 is the bike race. So Sadie wipes out. LaShauna, even though she's not Izzy for the entire time, I still think she wipes out. DJ Gwen. And everyone else qualifies the second round. So we know Heather could have to make it across, and Tyler wipes out into Jeff. So between Sky and Harold, I think Harold has more biking skills than Sky. So I think due to the unfair ruling, I think Sky is eliminated. Episode 19 is still DJ. Episode 20 is Wakanda Gone Wild. And I think what would happen is Gwen still wins the challenge. And without Izzy here, Heather gets voted off. Episode 21 is Guys vs. Girls. So it's Gwen, Jeff, Katie, Sadie, Harold, Sadie, Shauna, Tyler. The eating challenge, Gwen and Jeff. The race, Gwen and Jeff. Elimination order, LaShawn and Tyler. So they have me, Jeff and Gwen. But there's a bit of a problem because Jeff's the most popular candidate. So what happens here? Well, they go for Sadie because she's likely a more popular candidate. She could win the popularity contest. Episode 22 is still going to be LaShauna. I know there's many of you on that list, but LaShauna, that's what it was in the original. I'm not going to change that. Episode 23, non-elimination round. Episode 24 is Gwen and Jeff versus Harold and Tyler. I think Tyler and Harold's quite authentic with reading maps. So I think Tyler and Harold would win the challenge. And Jeff chooses to get rid of Jeff because he respects Gwen more in the boot camp episode. She would have done better than Jeff. Episode 25, the Desert Islands don't know what they would have gotten, but they're not around Owen, so that's important. Right. So I think Tyler could definitely make it to the end and Gwen. So I think unfortunately for Harold, I think he goes. So Gwen and Harold are in Tyler and Gwen are in the finale. So Tyler just replaces Owen as replaces Owen, and Tyler takes her. You know, it's very close, and Tyler and Gwen would win. Neither of them would sacrifice the prize money because they would know what Chris would do with it as more reasonable people. So total drama simply ends right there and then, and now we go straight to Parkdale Island. So now we're in Parkdale Island. Bridgette Wood introduction is completely the same as it was in the original. And all that. I think Dave would now, because Bridgette would probably decline Dave. I feel like Dave and Ella now who would be in that arc, you know, because he's Dave. Episode 1, Bridgette would be very helpful in this challenge and try her absolute best, but I still believe that Beardo's still out. Episode 2 is where Bridgette would do pretty well here with the pig. She would do decent, but Leonard would still cost him the challenge, meaning that he gets eliminated. Episode 3, I think when Ella is getting, you know, Sugar to be mean to Ella, I actually think Bridgette would stand up for her, and this would get Ella and Bridgette to be friends. I feel like Bridgette would be friends with Sean as well. And I think the balloons challenge doesn't change. And I think Amy would still get voted off. Episode 4 is where Dave has to, kiss Sky, but we'll just say that it's Bridgette. We could say it's Ella, but I don't think Ella would be as nervous as Sky is, because Sky belches. And Dave's like, well, that's because she likes me and all that, because it's Dave. So I feel like they passed that fear. And I think it's still the tiebreaker between Ella and Rodney, and I think Rodney still loses the tie. Episode 5, the Dueling Sticks episode. I think it is Topher Dave, neither, both get a point. And Amy, Max, Ellen, Max, Sugar, Sammy, Sugar, Max, Ella, and Max uses Zio. Now, Bridgette would be annoyed at Scarlet, but I don't think she'd be as Max, and I think she would just give out to Chris, but I don't think she'd be as annoyed as Sky, because Sky's really competitive. So I think Bridgette would get the point between her and Scarlet, and I think Sean is still upset. Jasmine's still upset with Sean. And Bridgette would try to comfort him and try to get Sean to help Sean get back with Jasmine. And I think there's still no reason for Sammy to get eliminated. Episode 6 is they have to get the, pacify the bear. I think Momo Monkey. I think Ella starts to sing to pacify the bear. Sugar bats out Ella. Bridgette would give out Sugar, for getting someone eliminated. And that's that. Episode 7, this is the pits. I think Jasmine's still freaking out. Topher still has Chris's phone. Sean and Bridgette would be talking. I think Bridgette is trying to make things right with Sean. I think Dave would be devastated that Ella's eliminated. So he would be really upset that Ella's out. And I think here what happens is this is a non-elimination, but Max and Bridgette swap teams. Episode 8, I think Bridgette is talking to Jasmine on how she should give Sean a second chance, and Amy did freak him out, and it was nothing personal. I do feel like Jasmine is a reasonable human being to listen to Bridgette. I think she'd be annoyed at her for, trying to talk around her about Sean, but I think she does consider it. And I think here Topher still causes a cave in, so he still gets voted off. And we are at the merge. So it's merge day, the merge cast. Say goodbye to these teams. Episode 9, I think Dave's not near as competitive. I think Sugar, Ella, Bridgette is hard, wouldn't do well in Pika. She wouldn't do well in Pika Challenge. I think Sugar wins. Sean still sacrifices himself to Jasmine's immunity. And everyone votes for, I think Dave either quits or he just gets eliminated like it does in the original. Considering this is 3 episodes with Ella being eliminated, I think Dave has enough reason for him to leave to be voted off. Episode 10, Scarlet Fever. I think Scarlet will still try to take over the island. I think personally Bridgette and Sean would help that, and I think Scarlet and Max still just get automatically eliminated from the game, even though it makes no sense for Max. Episode 11, I think Bridgette wouldn't make an alliance with Sugar to try and get out Sean and Jasmine because she's friends with them, so they're racing on their own. Because Sugar got out Ella, so I think Bridgette wouldn't like her for that. I think Sean and Jasmine make it to the end, so between Bridgette and Sugar. I think Sugar does get eliminated this time. I think the 3 tag team taking out Sugar. Episode 12, I think, is using the episode where we have the jumping up the tree, the talent show, and the hurdles. So jumping up the tree, first, second, third. First, second, third, and the talent show. Bridgette would be first, Jasmine second, Sean second, Jasmine third. So I feel like the winner of each, who would get the highest points? I'm going to say it doesn't really matter because I think Bridgette would just be automatically eliminated after this challenge. So third place, Bridgette. Wait, okay. Yeah, Bridgette. So Sean and Jasmine are in the finale. Sean would get Bridgette, and Jasmine gets Sammy. They each get winning endings. And either way, they split the prize money. That's it for you. I think I was watching this. It's where we're going. If Bridgette and Sky swap seasons. And yeah, peace farewell.